Hi. So I'm Kim. I'm a self-love and manifestation coach. I used to be in the beauty industry, own a salon. I'm usually on TikTok, but we're doing something new because this is going to be a longer video. So we're here to talk about dating, guys. And I stumbled upon this video on YouTube, and this guy was talking about dating and like how rough it is. It just inspired me to come on here to have this conversation to share my perspective from a woman's perspective of dating. This gentleman, he was talking about how he met this girl outside and he like thought everything was great. They were vibing. He had his arms around her. And like, I don't know if he was talking about the same girl or not, but he said that sometimes it'll even end up with them going back to his place and like, you know what I mean, having a good time. But the fallout is going to happen the next day when it comes time to talk. And when it comes time to follow up afterwards, he finds that the girls start to play games. And it's so funny because I feel like from a girl's perspective, I feel the same way. And I think this is the thing. Like the dating world has completely destroyed both men and women with the game playing and all these different toxic advices out there. I think what they don't really tell you is that we should learn to communicate and be emotionally vulnerable. From my perspective, she's looking for reassurance. She doesn't know where this guy's coming from, if he's just looking to get it in. Is he serious? Is he talking to all these other girls as well? So she's probably protecting herself and she's like, you know what? I'm gonna like keep my heart close to my chest, my emotions close to me until I figure out what his intentions are. So she's leaving it for him to show up in a way and to lead the relationship. And perhaps she's being a little cold. And maybe what she's looking for is the guy to be like, hey, I'd really like to meet you again. Do you want to go for a coffee date or do you want to go on an actual date? I don't know if he actually did that or not, but maybe that's what she's looking for. And if he said that and she's like being hot and cold or being wishy-washy, not giving you a solid answer, then at that point you got your answer. She's not interested. Move on. But if you didn't do that and all you've been doing is playing phone tag, what the hell are you doing? But I don't even blame him because I think that's the generation we live in, guys. Like, we live in a generation where everyone's stuck to the phone and they really think that this is actually a real form of communication, but it's not. This is not a real form of communication, okay? I'm gonna tell you from my own perspective. I used to be that girl. I used to date people online, but I learned that you don't really get to know somebody on the phone. You can be whoever the fuck you want to be over the phone, right? I can even be sitting here talking to you using ChatGPT to figure out my answers to text you. You don't know. You don't know who I am. So why don't you ask that person to go on a real date and meet them face to face, one on one, and really get to talk to them, really have a conversation and be intentional. Especially nowadays, I think both men and women, we need more reassurance more than ever in relationships because unfortunately, we've all had bad experiences in dating where we've been betrayed, we've been hurt, we've been the one to overgive, we've been the one that's been too available, too vulnerable, and it's just been a really bad experience for everybody. So I think if you truly want to look for a real long-term relationship, we need to be a little bit more empathetic to the opposite gender instead of just hating on each other and saying that women are the problem, men are the problem. No, I think everybody is the problem, and I think that we don't really know how to actually build long-term healthy relationships anymore because a lot of the dating advices that we're hearing online right now is actually just teaching you how to trigger other people's traumas and how to trigger their attachment wounds to get them to chase you and to get them to validate you, to give you the reassurance that you're looking for. But this is the thing with that. That person is truly not liking you for who you are. They're just chasing you and validating you for the traumas that you're triggering in them. They're seeking your validation through your responses. So that type of relationship is actually a trauma bond rather than an actual relationship built on love, communication, and just a solid foundation. So I believe that's why a lot of relationships don't work out nowadays because they're not really truly starting from a really healthy place where both people have the core foundation to actually sustain and work and build on this relationship. And what I mean by that is communication, the ability to be emotionally vulnerable, the ability to actually listen and be emotionally mature enough to take constructive criticism from your partner, not as an attack, but as a way to love that person better, as a way to actually try to show up for that person. Because if you don't have the ability to sit and take that criticism as she is trying to teach me how to love her, rather you take it from a place of, oh, she's telling me I'm not good enough, like she's so naggy, she's trying to control me, you'll never be able to have a good, healthy relationship. It requires two people to let down their egos, let down their walls, and be emotionally vulnerable and be willing to communicate and learn how to communicate in the other person's language. Because I realize that men have a different way of communicating and women have a different way of communicating. takes work. And I think that's in today's day and age, a lot of people aren't willing to put in work anymore. They want easy. They think people should just come to them. I don't want to chase nobody. I don't want to pursue. I'm too good for this. We're not too good for anybody. Nobody's too good for anybody. We're all human. We're all the same. We're all flawed. But it's just a matter of finding the person that's willing to work with you, to grow with you, to be each other's partner, to actually build something solid together with you, because nobody's perfect. I'll leave it at that. And if you're interested, follow my TikTok, my Instagram. I have way more videos on there. And if you're looking to work on yourself and you want to work on your journey of self-love and manifestation, because that really changed my entire life and my views on relationships with not just myself, but all of my relationships, book your free coaching course with me. Links in bio down below.